Yes, people. How are we all doing? Welcome one, welcome all to the fourth day in a row. 4 days in a row. Daily Liverpool news roundups. Now, this one is a little bit early today. So it is a little bit early because I'm hopping on the Football Heritage channel straight after this. Ran by Sava. Big up yourself, Sava. Big up the people on there. I'm on that at 10, so we're running this a little bit early today. I'm also on Sam's channel at 11 with Mons and Hassam, so you want to make sure you're checking that out. But first, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell so you don't miss another live stream. Been a bit of a quiet day today. Probably won't be as long a stream because it's not really been much news. But there has been a big revelation. There has been a real big revelation. And that is, if I can just find it here. It dropped at about 9 o'clock this morning. 9 o'clock this morning it dropped. That Liverpool now do not plan to sign Thuram following the arrival of Dominic Szoboszlai. Talks not taking place with Nice this week. Liverpool have explored the deal and price is not an obstacle. Thuram available for far less than €60 million, and Romeo Lavia is the one to watch. A bit of a blow, this one, because I've been very vocal and very big on potentially bringing in Thuram. I think in terms of a profile, in terms of the type of player that he is, in terms of his skill set and what he could be in the future, I really wanted to see that at Liverpool. I really did. And it just seems to me, it's a little bit confusing, really, because I understand why he would potentially drop out of the race, but to say that Szoboszlai was the reason causes a couple of questions, because in my eyes, Dominic Szoboszlai and Thuram aren't really similar types of players. They're not really the same type of player. Szoboszlai is a lot better in the final third. Thuram's more of a middle third player. Szoboszlai's a lot more creative. Thuram's a bit more of a box to box. It's just, I understand why you would do it, but to say that the reason is because of Szoboszlai is a bit sort of confusing because they just don't share any of the same characteristics as a footballer, which then sparks the question of, well, what was the plan for the system, and are we changing the plan for the system now that we've got a different type of profile there? It's going to be an interesting one. Obviously, pre-season starts in 4 days' time now, so we should get some answers by then, but that's something to keep an eye on during the first couple of games of pre-season, just what sort of shape and what sort of style we're going to be playing. Because if Thuram was the main target for a while and then we took an opportunity on Szoboszlai, I wonder what the original plan was. I really do. But then it came out from Fabrizio that Mickey van der Ven is going to Tottenham. He's agreed personal terms. Talks are ongoing, so that is a centre-back option out the door. Mickey van der Ven will not be happening. And then we got another exclusive. Oh, you see, look, I've bottled this now. I'm just not very professional. There we go. David Lynch then confirmed the news that Ben Jacobs had released that Liverpool were no longer pursuing a move for Nice midfielder Thuram. Talks were held with the players' representatives earlier in the window, but Dominic Szoboszlai ultimately emerged as the preferred target. And then, with any lingering interest in Thuram now ended, a firm move for Romeo Lavia now appears increasingly likely. So it looks like Lavia is the main target. And then it all sort of kicked off with Thiago. Now, the Anfield Talk I don't think they've got it. The Anfield Talk released it later. James Pearce released an article that the news from yesterday that Thiago had been attracting interest and there was potentially a bid inbound. James Pearce released an article revealing that there had been interest and that Thiago had rejected an official offer from a Saudi Arabian team, in order to stay at Liverpool to see out the end of his contract. In that article, it was a joint piece between him and David Ornstein. In that article, it also confirmed that we are moving away from Thuram due to signing Dominic Szoboszlai. But this Thiago stuff is interesting because obviously it's been a point of contention the past couple of days about Would you sell him? Would you not? Why? Yeah. That's probably what's going to be discussed on Hassam's show a bit later on today. But the player clearly wants to stay. The player is clearly happy at the club. The player wants to see out the final year of his deal with the club at Anfield, in the Europa League and challenge for the Premier League next year, all that. But is it the right move for the club? That is the big one. Obviously, it puts us in a better position to win next year, provided that he stays fit. If we are able to properly manage Thiago next year, and we are able to get 30 games out of him, and all of a sudden, that's going to put us in much better stead to win the big honours, because Thiago Alcantara is one of the best midfielders in the league. My concern does come from the fact that this manager doesn't really have a fantastic track record of managing players. He doesn't. Although he has proven a lot wrong, a lot of previous conceptions about him wrong this summer in terms of transfers and ruthlessness at times. But there is still that lingering doubt that he's never really been able to manage players with fitness concerns the best before. If Thiago isn't managed correctly, then we are going to look back on this as just why did we even do it? Why did we not just commit, sell Thiago, bring in 2 midfielders? It's very, very important that Jurgen Klopp gets it right with Thiago next year. It's very, very important, because you look at what he can do, and it blows you away at times. He's so good, but we have not seen that at Liverpool enough. The story of Thiago at Liverpool has been fantastic footballer who misses the big games because he's just not fit. The Carabao Cup final, he got injured in the warm-up. The Champions League final, he was injured. He shouldn't have played. He couldn't feel his foot. In that same season, he missed Manchester City at home, which was a vital game in the title challenge. The year before that, he obviously missed a number of games with an injury that he picked up from Richarlison. Last season, he done his hip in, so he missed the majority of the second half of the season. All these things compound, and is the way we use him a factor? Probably. 100% it probably is. We start Thiago about 10 games in a row. He's never been that type of player, so we do mismanage him, but in the same breath, the man's on 220k a week. I cannot justify 220k a week for someone who might just miss 4 months of a season, when I could take that money, take that wage bill, reinvest it into 2 younger players who don't have, major injury concerns, who are going to be at the club for the long haul. These are all the things you have to consider. It comes down ultimately at the end of the day to what do you believe Liverpool can achieve next season? If you believe Liverpool Football Club next season should go and win the league, then you keep Thiago, because Thiago Alcantara gives you the best chance of winning the league if he stays fit. If, like me, you still believe we are about a year away from being able to challenge and win that league title, then selling Thiago Alcantara for 15 to 20 million and reinvesting that money into 2 younger projects and giving them game time next year becomes a very possible option. It's a very serious option that people have to consider. I know they don't like it because Thiago is such a fantastic footballer to watch, but it's the truth. It's the truth. You've got to consider the long-term future of this football club. You've got to consider that. And considering that, Thiago Alcantara leaving is not the be-all and end-all, the end of the world, all this, that, and the other that people will try and make it out to be. Although it would be sad because I enjoyed watching him. And then obviously there was news yesterday that apparently he wasn't in Klopp's plans, Jurgen Klopp's plans for the campaign ahead with Thiago on board. Liverpool will be happy for him to see out his final year and depart in 2024 as a free agent. Then Paul Joyce confirmed the news as well. Big ups Paul Joyce, the best Liverpool journalist about. Thiago Alcantara is attracting interest from foreign clubs, including those in Saudi Arabia, though Liverpool have yet to receive an official bid for the midfielder. The Spain international has a year remaining on his contract and is scheduled to return to the club when pre-season training begins at the weekend. And then Paul Joyce dropped his big Lavia news. Liverpool are weighing up whether to make an approach for Southampton's 19-year-old defensive midfielder Romeo Lavia. This all dropped at the same time, this Lavia stuff. This all dropped at the same time. Romeo Lavia, by all accounts, is Liverpool's top target for the foreseeable future. He's our top target. We're going to face competition from Arsenal. We're going to face competition from Chelsea. But Romeo Lavia is our top target at the minute. Whether we commit to a bid now or whether we push for it a little bit later on or whatever. I don't know, but I believe that, today's July 4th. Pre-season training begins at the weekend, so July 8th. All the players return on the Monday, so the players that are on international duty return on the Monday, the 11th, I think, or it might be Tuesday, the 11th, whatever it is. And then we head off to Germany on our pre-season tour. With that being the case, I would like to see this Lavia deal get done by the end of the week. By Sunday night, I want to see Lavia holding up a Liverpool shirt. So all the players are ready for pre-season. We've got all the players, all the midfield ready for pre-season, should I say, because we know what happens when your midfield isn't good enough. We saw firsthand last season what happens when your midfield is underprepared, not used to the system, not used to the demands. It crumbles and you lose out. So, if Romeo Lavia is the top target, which I do believe he is, all focus should be going on to getting him through the door by the end of the week. How much will it cost? That's, it's a different kettle of fish. I reckon we're probably going to end up negotiating a deal for around about 45 million. I reckon we could end up paying 45 for the player. Some in installments, some in add-ons, this, that, and the other. But if Lavia is our top target, all focus should be on getting him in, because Arsenal are interested, Chelsea are interested. They have money. They can convince players. This isn't like a situation where we're going up against Newcastle. Although I do believe we have more pull than Arsenal and Chelsea, it's a tougher ask. It is a tougher ask to, win a bidding war and a battle against these clubs. It is a tougher ask. Then, Fabrizio Romano confirmed that we've been in contact with the agents of Lavia for the past 2 weeks. Sources expect Liverpool to open talks with Southampton soon. They face competition from Arsenal and Chelsea. Then we got a number of quotes from Szoboszlai, and then a little piece about Henderson returning. And then, whilst we've been on the stream, Fabrizio Romano with a bomb. Liverpool are really pushing for Romeo Lavia. They are now waiting to make an official offer. Why we are waiting, I don't know. Maybe we're waiting to get money back from sales or whatever. I don't really know as of right now, but we are waiting to make that official offer for Lavia. So before I move on to Josh LFC and all his news today, make sure you like the video if you're new here. Hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Let's get through some of these comments from the lovely, 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 lovely people who are giving me support today. Big ups, Drunk Vigo. Big ups, Revenite. No Thuram's gutting. If it's Caicedo, then I won't mind. We'll touch on Caicedo in a bit. Just Lavia won't be enough. It makes it a little bit tougher, but I think just Lavia is still a fan, because it's not just Lavia, it's Lavia, McAllister, and Szoboszlai, and Thiago, and Fabinho, and Jones. And it looks a lot stronger already. It looks a hell of a lot stronger already. Have you heard the rumours that Singapore have invested to be revealed after the window closes, and this is where the transfer money's come from? I've heard it, but I don't believe it, because it's GIC, the group that you're on about, and it was always to do with the fact that GIC have, opened some branches or opened something in company's house, but that money, it's been proven where that money's went. It's went to invest in property or something. So, pick yourself, Yuvraj. Looks like Thuram is off. Looks like it, but I don't necessarily fully believe it. Take from that what you will. Pick up yourself, Steve. Loving the grind, as am I. Pick up yourself, Mickham. Pick up yourself, Captain Sal. Question: Thuram is not the priority. So on Lavia, Colwill or Inacio at centre back. Colwill. I love Inacio. I've watched a lot of Sporting this year, mainly for Ruben Amorim and Mama Lugarte, and I'm getting neither. But Gonzalo Inacio has really impressed me this season. That left centre back role, he's fantastic in it. But Colwill just to me seems like the better prospect, more Prem experience. I just think he's, it's going to sound wild. It's going to annoy a lot of people. Colwill's the Van Dijk 2.0. Colwill's got all the potential to be Van Dijk 2.0, 100%. 100 million %. Ben Jacobs at 9 a.m. Yeah, that was when he dropped the Thuram news. Colwill's not happening. Chelsea don't want to sell. Ben Jacobs just said it on Grizz's show. The thing is, Chelsea didn't want to really sell Mount, and they ended up selling him. These are a lot of things that you got to consider. Chelsea, if we offer 60 to 70 million and all of a sudden Colwill throws his toys out the pram, who knows? Who knows? Big up yourself, Dals. I think you talk about United. I heard that you got a bid from Saudi yesterday, so who knows? Would you have still got Mount with Szoboszlai? Mount and Szoboszlai? No. Mount or Szoboszlai? Szoboszlai. I reckon Thuram, Kone, or Lavia are still on the radar and could easily be looked at. This is the thing, the Kone stuff. He picked up an injury in this under 21 Euros, and it looked bad. He had to go off. He's on crutches after the game. But the rumours haven't stopped. It's not like we just went, okay, look, we're distancing ourselves. There's still memes and there's still rumours that there could be something in this Manu Kone deal, which is intriguing because I am a fan of Manu Kone. I think he's more... not complete, more... What's the word? He's got more pedigree at the minute than Thuram does. But again, I think it all really does just depend on this injury and how much... Borussia Mönchengladbach end up asking for. But let's not forget, Mönchengladbach's sporting director is Jörg Schmadtke's son. So he's got to do his dad a favour. Big up yourself, Ryan. I really hope Lavia and Colwill happen. That'd be fantastic. Big up yourself, John. I'm actually 50-50 whether we get Lavia. If we put the money up, Lavia comes to us. I don't have much doubt in my mind about that. If we put the money up soon, Lavia comes to us. Because I don't think Arsenal are going to make a move until Partey goes. And I don't think Chelsea are going to make a move until Caicedo is done. So I think if we act quick, we've got a free run at Lavia. Big yourself, KVJ. No, seriously, it looks like I felt like Xavier. I do reckon if Thiago does go, we go back in for Thuram. I think if Thiago goes, we go back in for another midfielder. I agree. Whether it is Thuram at this point, I don't know, because I do think the club are really starting to get a bit pissed off with Nice about the tactics. Nice are gagging for a bid more, basically. Nice are on their knees begging for a bid more. They're trying to do it through journalists. They're trying to do it through agent talk. Any way they can get a possible bid more going for Thuram, they are trying it. And I don't think the club is enjoying being brought into this saga. So I think that might cost the lad his move, potentially. Big ups, Jamie Phillips. If you're not subscribed to him already, what you doing? Top creator. Big up yourself, mate. I'm a split on Thiago. Tommy's our best midfielder he's made from Weetabix. On the pitch, Thiago's fantastic. On the pitch, he's a joy to watch. But how much of on the pitch Thiago do we get a season? That's the big thing. Availability wise, I'll be happy. I'll happily see us get rid of him. Now, if he's fit, it's a no-brainer. This is the thing. If you could guarantee me Thiago would be fit for 30 games next season, I get a 100% guarantee that Thiago's fit. I'm not doing a double deal. But I don't have that guarantee. And come the end of next season, if it's ended up in a situation where Thiago only made 17 appearances because this hip injury picked up at the end of last season, flared up again, and the surgery didn't correct everything, so we had to go back in for more and this, that, and the other. Then we're going to sit there and regret it. 100% we will. 100% we will. We'll regret it if Thiago ends up having more injury problems next season. Would you be surprised if we go for Kone in January? Signing another midfielder after Lavia at this point, I think, is purely dependent on who goes. If Thiago or Henderson was to go, then I could see us making a move. Now, is it that Kone's the man? I don't know. But I could definitely see if Thiago or Henderson moved in Jan, we go in for a midfielder. We should force. I don't think we need to force Thiago. I don't know if we're forcing a player out, but if we get good money, then 100% take it. 100% take it. 220k per week and made the Weetabix sell. That's facts, Tom. Keep Thiago, sell Hendo. Pick up yourself, Anfield lads, and big up yourself, Iman. See you on Twitter all the time. Sell Matip, Gomez, Nat, Hendo, Fab, but not Thiago. Then you need us to buy 3 centre-backs and another 2 to 3 midfielders on top of that. That's not happening. Don't get your hopes up about a centre-back leaving this window. That's all I'll say. Arda Güler's going to Madrid. I saw that. Been writing articles on him in work. Fantastic little player, to be fair. Real nice pickup for Real Madrid. Thuram x Lavia. I'd like it, but I obviously the news day almost shut it down. We should get at least one more play before the start of pre-season. I agree. Let's try and get as many of these signs in before the start of pre-season. That has to be the focus. He'll go Arsenal. Again, I think we can beat Arsenal to the signing. I really do. Wonder if there's any update from Hassan's mate on Lavia. I think if there is, he'll tell you tonight. Stop the waiting and get bidden. Tom, do you see a sign on left centre-back this summer? I think we should do. Whether it will happen or not is a different kettle of fish, but 100% we should be looking at bringing in a centre-back this summer. A big one at that, because we can't sell ourselves short at centre-back, if you get me. We can't be selling ourselves short at centre-back. Do you think we are saving money for a centre-back because we would not be pursuing Thuram and walking out? It's a tough one to tell with this Thuram stuff. It really is. Whether it's all media talk, whether it's a club briefing to try and stop Nice, to try and change Nice's approach to the transfer or whatever, or whether it is real. Who knows? But if we're going for a centre-back, it's got to be a big one. It's got to be a big one. If Liverpool got Lavia, what other players would you want them to go for? And Alisson, top goal. If Liverpool to get goalies, challenge Alisson. What keeper would you go for? Don't need a keeper. We got Kelleher. What other players I don't want to go for? Again, a left centre-back is a must. And if I'm given the option to sell Thiago, and that guarantees to get another midfielder in, I'll really think about that one as well. But left centre-back wise, you've got the likes of Laporte, you've got the likes of Colwill, Inacio. There are a number of centre-backs out there who we could look at. Mount was on 1 year left there to sell him. Havertz performing poor. And 65 million for him was a great deal, so they sold him. Colwill, though, they want to keep him. His contract expires in 2025. They offered Mason Mount about 3 new deals, and he kept saying no. They wanted to keep Mount, but it got to a position where they had to sell him, so they didn't lose him for free. If Levi Colwill throws his toys out the pram, if Levi Colwill has this meeting with Pochettino that he's about to have, and Pochettino tells him, no, you're not going to start for me, he's got hopes of going to the Euros next summer. He will 100% try and get his way out of there to get regular football. He comes to Liverpool, he gets regular football. 100% he does. If Lavia and Colwill are the final 2 signings, what score would you give this transfer window out of 10? Ooh. That's actually a hell of a question, that. A 9. A 9. The only thing that would make it 10 for me is if we're able to add another midfielder and move on one of Thiago or Henderson. Fabrizio just said we were really pushing for Lavia, wanting to put in an official bid. Palhinha or Lavia at Fulham asked for a low price, or Lavia to help Fabinho by Chesic. I don't think Palhinha is the right signing. Doesn't fit the age profile that we're going for. We're looking for players between the age of about 21 to 25. Palhinha's 28. Palhinha will be a very good win now signing. I don't think we're in win now mode. I think we're right on the cusp of that. And regarding this by Chesic stuff, there was a thread today that caused debate about this whole thing about, are you going to stunt? You will stunt by Chesic's development if you sign Lavia. If you remember last season, by Chesic's best run came, he had 9 starts and 12 or 13 consecutive appearances. In that run of games, he started at DM 4 times. 4 times, and the rest was a left central midfielder. When he was in DM, we won 1 of 4 games, and that was an FA Cup replay against a weakened Wolves side. When he was at left centre mid, we won 7 of... Was it 7? Might have been 6 of 8 or 5 of 8, something like that. We won considerably more with him in centre mid than we did at DM. Chesic will be a fantastic DM in the future. He's got all the keys to be a fantastic DM in the future. But right now, he does not have the body. He does not have the build to be a DM Because of that, we need someone who is more ready. And that is Romeo Lavia. He's built for it. He's had a fantastic campaign in DM for Southampton. Bajcetic can do more minutes next year. He can continue to get time next year in the 8 role and as a third choice 6. Bajcetic, we should not be looking at Bajcetic as the backup DM next year because it is just going to crash and burn and hurt his development. People need to stop hating on Weetabix. It's a good cereal. What is this, the 60s? No, I mean sell one of them, not all of them. Right, okay. That makes a lot more sense. If I was that list, I'd probably sell Henderson and Matt Phillips. When's the next Tom Little X Sam? Well, it's Tom Little X Sam X Monts tonight at 11. So make sure you get involved in that one. And speaking of Monts, here is the guy, Montel. Good to see you, my friend. If you get Lavia and Colwill, I'm saying title charge. That's fair enough. I still think we're a little bit of ways away, but that's fine. Big up yourself, Ram. Big up yourself, Tarmizi. Big up Thomas, that typical Liverpool. Here we go, where reports go back and forth that drives me mad again. Liverpool fans get whiplash when we're actually active in transfer windows because you get 1 minute this way, then that. We want and then we don't. Yes, no, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. But you know what? I actually enjoy it. It's like some sadistic thing where I enjoy the feelings of confusion and pain. I doubt they will sell Liverpool regardless of all that time. Colwill will go Brighton for way less. We didn't think they would sell Mount to United. We didn't think they'd sell Havertz to Arsenal. We didn't think they'd sell Kovacic to City. They are showing that if you pay money, you can have player. And if Colwill just goes, no, I want to play for Liverpool and no one else, then all of a sudden Chelsea is stuck in a rock and a hard place. Colwill holds the power. This is the thing. Colwill holds a lot of power in these negotiations. He really, really does. Don't have people think that it's just, it's only this, that, and the other. No. Levi Colwill has power. What will happen if we are a couple of weeks in and Fab is still trash and we didn't get Lavia? Will the club regret not going for Thuram and Lavia? Because I'm a bit concerned about Fabinho. Thuram should not be a DM next season. When I say Thuram could be a DM, I mean 3 to 4 years down the line. I'm not saying next year. I'm really not saying next year. I'm confident on Lavia. If we don't get Lavia, then we move to another 6 target. We can't leave this window without a 6, and I don't think we will. But it just depends what 6 option it is. But I don't think if Fabinho's bad, we'll regret not getting Thuram. I have a feeling we'll spend big on centre half. That's why we left the Thuram deal. Maybe you're onto something there. If we get McAllister, Szoboszlai, Lavia, and Colwill, then it's a 10 out of 10 window. Fair enough. I only have it down as a 9. Where are we up to? With the benchmark of Mount and Havertz, I think Cole will be 60 to 70. Let's say by Lavia 40 to 50. Do you think the club will be willing to pay out 60 to 70 for Colwill this summer? If we get Lavia for 45, McAllister for 35, that is 80. Add on Szoboszlai 60, that is 140. Add on another 60 on top of that, it's 200 million. 70 makes it 210. But you've got to bear in mind how we are paying off these deals. We are not paying anything on Szoboszlai this summer. Lavia, we could well have that structured differently in terms of payment thing. I don't think the McAllister one's got payment structures, but it was a low release clause. We can 100% afford 200 million this window. 100% we can. Need that Darwin number 9 announcement alongside Lavia. 25 likes, people. Let's get more. Let's actually have a little look at the like total right now. Let's have a look at how you are getting on with the likes just before we head into the section when we check out some of the other news that dropped today. We are on 31 likes, people. Let's try and get to 35 likes. Let's try and get to 35 likes while I finish the rest of these comments. It'd be good to watch live watch-alongs here. Is that something you plan to do? Would be good. If not, it's probably okay. Here sounds watch-alongs are good. I don't really do watch-alongs. I like to watch the games in a pub with friends and family. So I don't really do watch-alongs. Maybe 1 or 2. Might be like special things or something. But they're not really planned because I've got shows straight afterwards. I've got work. There's potential stuff in the pipeline about, other stuff that can't be discussed yet. But watch-alongs aren't really my thing. So I don't expect to see watch-alongs next season. But you might get 1 or 2 surprise ones. What do you think a good price for Colwill is? 50 million. 75 million is the absolute max I'd pay for Colwill. That's how good I think he is. And that's how much potential I think he's got. Dope needs to prove himself in this pre-season. I think he will do. I think Harvey Elliott will have a good pre-season as well. I still do think if Colwill, if he wants to leave, he'll choose Liverpool over Brighton De Zerbi. Liverpool is just a different pull. It's a different pull. And you've got to think about the situation he'd be going into as well. He'd be a guaranteed starter, week in, week out, for one of the best teams in the world, a team that has been the second best team in England for the past 5 years, and you get to play alongside arguably the best centre-back pairing in the league at the minute. No brainer. I'm taking Colwill over Vardiol. I am personally, but that's because I think Vardiol has a bit of a Dejan love from Bozo Jr., but Vardiol's still a really good defender. Caicedo was overpriced. Caicedo was going rate in this market. Caicedo was an incredible footballer, and we will touch on Caicedo in a little bit once we get onto the next bit of news. What's the mood like in Merseyside just now regarding LFC? Very positive. Very, very positive. A fan of the transfers, a fan of the atmosphere, a fan of everything around Liverpool is looking a little bit positive at the minute within the city. If we get Lavia and Thuram straight in, I don't care. I can't handle being for another season a regular starter. I'm not throwing him in straight away, but he's getting minutes, 100% he is. But you've also got to give Fabinho a chance to show himself. Colwill, Lavia, and even Thuram need to put pressure on their clubs that they want LFC. I think certain ones will do. No, I'm not taking Colwill for 70, 60 million max. Levi Colwill is homegrown as well. That's something you've got to consider. I think Levi Colwill, that's just how highly I rate Colwill. I thought he was incredible for Brighton last season. I think there's such a good player there in terms of play style and everything. I am very, very much on the Levi Colwill hype train. If Darwin gets number 9, it's a travesty. Disagree. Nasio has a €45 million release clause. Surely that's affordable for us. Watch alongs are boring. Numbers mean legends, etc. I think Lavia will coming in. Bicester will have a lot of playing time. Maybe Klopp seeing it that way. Yeah, Bicester will still get his minutes. Would you rather not go for Colwill or Lavia and instead go for Caicedo and next summer go for defence rebuild like how we did with our midfield this summer? I think you need a defender. There's two scenarios that I'm playing out in my head, and this is something I'll ask you lot. I'll ask you lot this. I'll even try and figure out how to set up a poll if I can do. There we go. Right. So there's two scenarios in my head for how we address midfield and defence. I reckon we've got about 120 million left. 120 million left. So let me just set this up. I'm not even going to mention it yet. I just want you to see the options. Which DM/CB duo Right, there you go. The poll is out. Let me know what you are thinking. Since you started supporting Liverpool, who's been your favourite Liverpool player of all time? Most underrated on Liverpool channel. I ask. Fanny said Steven Gerrard best. Sammy Hippie underrated. The best player I've ever seen play for Liverpool Football Club is Luis Suarez. The best, pure ability wise, is Luis Suarez. The most underrated player I've ever seen play for Liverpool is Dirk Kuyt. If Henderson leads the Sauce Matthew 10 out of 10 window. What's this one? What are you expecting from Darwin this season in terms of goals and assists? 20, 25, I reckon. 25 in all comps. Do you think Colwill could become like Basuma? Maybe, but it's not really as highly a likelihood in my eyes. How do you rate Jorg Schumacher's this window if we get all our targets? He's done a good job. He's done his job very well. But I have a stream to get ready for in 10 minutes, so let's get through this last section real quick. Get through it real quick. Let's see where we were up to with this one. There we go. Right, so I think we are here. So, it seems like, according to, with Josh, he's got news that as it stands, Liverpool still working on deal. This is, stuff she said all about the Lavia stuff. The Lavia news is picking up. And in the last few days, Liverpool have ended their interest in Ryan Gravenberch and Kefren Thuram. These decisions are communicated through face-to-face meetings, which will explain some thinking progress way being made. People in France think it's negotiating tactics. I don't, to be honest. And then obviously there's all the stuff about Thuram and everything. Then obviously the stuff about Thiago Alcantara attracting interest. Liverpool could soon make a move for Romeo Lavia. Apparently we had a meeting with Lavia and his entourage yesterday. There's obviously an expectation now that Romeo Lavia will be the next midfielder they make a big push for. However, like we've seen already this transfer window, don't rule out a surprise. Could definitely be possible if the Dominic Szoboszlai deal is anything to go off. Big ups to Ben Jacobs. Romeo Lavia is the next midfield target for Liverpool. He's seen as the most likely signing. It's currently unlikely Liverpool making an offer until they've recouped some money through player sales. This is the thing. This idea that we need to recoup money from player sales is something that I disagree with, because Romeo Lavia wants to buy some of Europe's top clubs. They aren't going to sit around and wait while Liverpool try and sell Nat Phillips for £10 million. You put the money up for Lavia now, and then once everything is done, then you get your money back in. Because we will miss out on Lavia if we try and wait to get money in. We will do, because he's wanted by some of Europe's top clubs. Then Paul Joyce, obviously. Then we got the news about Levi Colwill from Felix Johnson, a Chelsea reporter. Understand, despite being told Colwill is not for sale, Liverpool has spoken to Levi Colwill's camp again, stating even at a record price they would be interested. He's one reason they haven't signed a centre-back. Liverpool also inquired to Chelsea directly, where Chelsea reiterated he is not for sale and will offer him a long-term deal, but will have to do it within the constraints of the new wage structure. Levi Colwill is set to talk to Pochettino after the Under-21 Euros. Southgate told Colwill he wants to start at Euro 2024, but he has to be a regular starter this season. Obviously, then, we're pushing hard for Colwill, but they're not budging. Then we got Neil Jones reporting on his Romeo Lavia piece. Liverpool remain keen on Lavia, but feel the initial $50 million asking price is too high. The feeling is that a lower fee can be negotiated. Then he confirmed that we cooled interest in Nice's Kefren Thuram following the signing of Dominic Szoboszlai. And then obviously there's news that Fenerbahce are joining the list of clubs interested in Thiago. A lot of similar stuff, but there's stuff there. And obviously more confirmation about the Colwill stuff. Entrance talk for Lavia, come to Romano, he's top target. And then Ben Jacobs confirmed again. Everything just seems to be leading to Romeo Lavia is a Liverpool top target and who we want to push for. And then the final bit of news, Roberto Firmino has got his new club. He signed a deal with Al Ahly for 3 years. 3 years, he's getting his big payday. Big ups to Bobby for that. And then obviously from the Fabrizio Romano stuff, it was via his YouTube. Arsenal interested party leads, like I said. Chelsea and Manchester United are monitoring the player, but we are really pushing due to the competition. So, a little bit of a quieter day, but it just seems to confirm that Lavia is the top target. Now, let's get through these comments real quick just before we call it a day. Big up yourself, True Bouquet. Thank you for the subscription. It's much appreciated. The support is much, much, much appreciated. Surely we can afford €45 million release clause for Ignacio, maybe. But I think there's something going on behind the scenes with that. What's your starting front three? Diaz, Darwin, Salah, or Jota, Darwin, Salah? My starting front three is, for the first game, it's going to be Salah. If I had to pick right now for the first game, Salah, Gakpo, Jota. But ideally, I want it to end up being Salah, Gakpo, Nunes. If you could sign any two Spurs players, who would they be? Not including Harry Kane. Apart from Harry Kane, it would be Christian Romero and probably Bentancur. Why Matip a contract extension though? Who knows? We don't even know if that's going to lead to anything. It's not like we've agreed it. There was just discussions. There's discussions about stuff all the time. Where I think the majority of discussions will happen is the first couple of days of pre-season one. On the 8th to the 11th, I think a lot of players will find out their long-term future at the football club. There'll be discussions with them by the manager and the staff, and I think we'll start to see a couple of players start thinking about leaving when they're told they not necessarily have a long-term future at the club. Josh Elite tweeting reports and the latest news being used to relax with the ITK stuff. No, Josh is sound. Does anyone actually think we can get Colwill from Chelsea? I think there's a possibility. Beat yourself, DJ Sav from the Terrace. How's it going? Just funny, but here to support your channel. How's it going? I appreciate the support, mate, and I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. Hopefully you sell us Colwill. It's time for Tyler Morton to go. We need to get sold. Give him pre-season. See what we can get. But I think you'll get a lot of money for him, potentially. Neil Jones is a great day bluffer. He's got stuff wrong, he's got stuff right. This is the thing with journalism in football. It's never cut and dry like I found out in my first month in the industry. Stevie G wants to hand out a Saudi club. I don't know how much of that is legit. Didn't vote in your polls each of the duos. We won't get. More likely we'll get Lavia and Inacio. Maybe, but am I university students? I have graduated university. I have finished university. Boot yourself NS Sports. Youngman's son. I think we can't pay another release clause because we already paid 2. We can pay another release. This is the thing. We can pay another release clause because we've not paid the Soboslai one yet. We've not paid anything out for Soboslai this summer. Nothing is going out from the club's accounts this summer for Dominic Soboslai. It's just it'll start next summer, so there is a lot of leeway and leverage in terms of the budget. But I'm going to call it there because I've got to head off to a stream. I will drop the link for the channel I'm streaming on in 5 minutes with Savvy. Top Tottenham fan. If you don't know, get to know. Yeah, let me just get it up here. There you go. It's in the comments now. That is where I'm going next on the Football Heritage channel. Make sure you don't hop over there and give your support. Colwill not for sale. I think Michael have already stated this. Plus, Poch very much has been his plans. You want to keep him, but the situation can change quickly in football. The situation can change very, very quickly in football. So obviously, I'm there on Football Heritage in 5 minutes, and then later on tonight, let's see if Sam has updated his thing. So I can drop this link in. Has he put it in? Nope. Hassam. Oh, no, he has. He has. He's not a bad streamer. In just over an hour's time, I will be live with Hassam on This Is Football. But for now, I'm going to call it there. Thank you all very, very much for your support on this stream. It's been another fantastic stream. I'll be back again tomorrow. Don't know what time. It'll be between 9 and 11. So make sure you're subscribing if you're not already. Hit that like button. Turn on that notification bell so you get the notification when I'm live tomorrow. I will see you all in a bit. Love you, just leave yous in a bit.